What's up, basic bitches? It's been a while since I did a legitimate review of a movie, and I know I don't have a very attractive background, but that's because I've kind of been going through the big sad for like 2 years. And I thought, you know what, this shit ain't gonna go away, and I can take all the time in the world off from YouTube, and I'm still gonna be messed up. But ultimately, let's just call a spade a spade. This is a lot of hard work, even for someone like me who puts in the bare minimum. It's a lot of hard work trying to make my face look a little less like death. And now I kind of think I might look a little bit like that chain smoker who calls you darling and just sort of nonchalantly hangs out outside of the gas station. I think with this makeup on, I look 40, and I'm only 34. Whatever. Anyway, the point is, I just watched a movie a few days ago that was so bad, I decided to just start my channel up again. Oh, and what is it? Well, that movie is Stuck. It stars Mena Suvari and a bunch of other people I didn't bother to look up. I only recognize her because I grew up with her being in American Pie and in American Beauty. Mena Suvari plays Brandy, a nursing assistant in Providence, Rhode Island, I do believe. And she is about to get a promotion to be head nursing assistant or something like that. And she works hard. So there's her character, and then there's another character whose name I can't remember, and I'm not even sure they gave him a name. Anyway, he recently became homeless. He was kicked out of his apartment, and by the way, this review is going to contain lots of spoilers. He was kicked out of his apartment, and he recently became homeless. On his first day of being homeless, he gets a cart from another homeless person, and on Brandy on her way home called her boyfriend Rashid and asked if he was bringing food. He didn't bring food, by the way, and was busy talking on her phone. It must have been the early 2000s because everybody has a flip phone, and only grandmas have flip phones now. Get with the program. And so she hits him and his cart, and he goes through her windshield. And hence the name of the movie, he gets stuck in her windshield. And here's where it got infuriatingly annoying. Brandy is a nursing assistant. I was that for 4 years. I didn't drink before I was a nursing assistant, and I wasn't this fat before I was a nursing assistant. I really need to actually go to the gym and stop blaming my past for the reason why I'm still fat. Anyway, Brandy leaves the scene of an accident, and then she drives to a hospital instead of pulling up in the front where this man could be taken care of. She pulls over to where the ambulances and the helicopter and all that stuff park, and this is the point where this former CNA in me wanted to scream. I don't know if you know this, but when an accident happens, you don't move accident victims. You don't do it. Even if they can get up and walk on their own, you probably don't do it because of things like internal bleeding. Just don't do it. Please don't do it. Anyway, Brandy attempts to pull him out of her window by his feet. And of course, since it's one of these kind of movies, of course there's a bone sticking out of his leg. Can we please just get together and actually talk with some medical professionals about bones sticking out of legs and the likelihood of that actually happening compared to it being a bunch of bollocks, please? God, this lipstick is a bold choice. Anyway, somebody opens the garage door. The only person that saw this middle-aged white man just half out on her fucking hood of her car was his homeless friend. Tried to get the cops look, but the cops were like, "Shut up, you homeless black man, before I shoot you," because, cops. Providence, Rhode Island, even though it's a tiny little state, I just Googled this a few hours ago for this review, has about 180,332 or some number similar or close to that. That's the population. Nursing assistants, if they're working 12 hours a day, that's usually 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. or 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. Maybe, just maybe, Brandy's is 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. or something like that. Or maybe she's 2 to 10. Maybe she's not. But here's the thing. Even at 9 p.m. in my town that has a little over 10,000 population, there's still people out, and they would have noticed somebody dangling off of the hood halfway in and halfway out of the fucking windshield. So no. And Brandy would have been smart enough to know you don't pull someone by their legs. I just want to know how she lifts people in her job. Probably not very well. So she gets home. She says to her boyfriend, Rashid, that she did this. And the acting is kind of terrible. She kind of cries like Onision, and then she sits down and she mentions her promotion first. Like I said, I don't know if I said this, but I'm going to say it now. Nobody in this film acts the way anyone would when this type of thing happens. And I know, Allison, how many people I haven't run anyone over? Other than a cow or a deer or something like that, I have not ran anyone over. 'Tis neither here nor there, though. But you'd think as a nursing assistant, she'd be like, oh shit, I made this bad thing happen. But anyway, her boyfriend's all like pretending to be this gangster, and he's so cool, and he's like, yeah, I waste lots of motherfuckers all the time. I'll help you with this. I'll get the body, I'll burn it, I'll piss on the ashes. That's kind of his character, and that's how he's acting. And then the poor homeless guy is still alive, and she says, help is coming, and then they have sex. She and Rashid, not she and the homeless guy, that would be weird. Might have made the movie more interesting, but she and Rashid have sex, and then she starts getting flashbacks to him coming through her windshield, and she starts screaming, and it's the weirdest kind of scream. It's like, ah, ah, ah. And then her boyfriend just thinks, oh man, I'm doing good, kicking into high gear. So she goes the next day, and she goes to call 911, and she goes to call the hospital, and she decides not to call either because she's worried about her promotion. Girl, that doesn't make sense. So she goes to work. She's over an hour late for work. Her boss gets after her. She seems a little bit more rattled about this job than she is about the quite possibly dying person just still dangling from the hood of her car. Whatever. Whew. Anyway, she has a friend that covers for her, and she goes to her boyfriend's house. Her boyfriend is having sex with some girl. This girl is ripped out of the bed. Ooh, shut up in there. She's ripped out of the bed, and she's thrown out, and we see way more of this girl than I ever wanted to. Yep. I'm not going to say that word because I hate it. Anyway, there we go. Just going, okay, this was frivolous and superfluous. Oh my God. Okay, here's what happens. He managed to get out and get to her phone that she left. He called 911. They were like, oh my God, I'm stupid. I'm in a movie and I'm a cop and I don't do my job in a movie. I hate that so much. Why do medical personnel, 911 operators, police, and everyone in these movies act so dumb? Like, oh my God, you know what? You're a teenager. I'm going to automatically excuse this as a prank. This line is for emergencies only, sir. I have an idea. Go get a bunch of movies like this and chug a beer every time one of the cops acts like an idiot, acts like they don't have the mental capacity to be a cop. Like, for fuck's sake. Anyway, he gets out, her phone dies. She hits him 2 times in the head with like a piece of wood. He uses that piece of wood that she left in the car. This girl's an idiot. And he ties his leg that she broke and binds it so that he can get going. And here's another little idiotic tidbit. There is a Hispanic family that lives next door. He's honking the horn. He reaches through and he honks the horn. Some boy comes over and then he tells his mom, and then his mom knocks on the door. And he's still stuck by this time. I just forgot this and then crappily decided to put it back in there because I'm not good at this job. Anyway, they go and they say, oh, we must help him. We must help him. And then, you know, they're worried about getting deported. Of course they are, because why not? So anyway, it's after work. Rashid and her friend from work. Rashid sees the guy on the floor and the blood everywhere, and he is suddenly not as gangster, surprise, as he claimed to be. And he's just still going on, and then her friend comes by and says, you know, we're going to get into a little bit about Rashid's character. Oh, what the fuck? What happened here? And she said, oh, I hit a deer. And it's like, you hit a deer in the city? Like this is I Am Legend or some shit. And so they convince her to go away by giving her some uppers or something. And that's the thing. These nursing assistants, which by the way don't get paid very much, these nursing assistants have enough money to own houses and cars, and yes, it is an old car and all of that stuff, and a drug addiction, because when Rashid comes in at the very beginning, he gives her 2 shots of alcohol and a pill. These are medical professionals. I thought it was common sense that you don't take pills with alcohol, even if it's Tylenol and old Utah 3.2 beer. Jesus, West. So, skipping a bit, the homeless guy kills Rashid, stabs him in the eye, and he dies. And then they fight, she and the homeless guy. She drenches him in gasoline, and then he knocks the lighter out of her hands. She gets the gun. Rashid had a gun. She gets the gun off of him. She goes to shoot him. Hey, I'm missing a very important part. He got in and he pinned her to the wall by her legs. She got the gun from him and she's trying to shoot him. It ricochets off of the car and everything's covered in gasoline, and I think this works. I'm not sure. I'm gonna go with maybe. It ricochets off the car, sparks, and then she's up in flames. He drags himself out, and then there's that family. I guess people in this overpopulated town finally decided to call 911, like, because there was screaming and gunshots and all sorts of stuff, and then it ends with her being burned alive and him being taken away, and that's the whole movie. Now, let's get to the rating. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, so, you get your 1 star. That's just like you made your movie. Congratulations, you got your star. As for acting, I'm gonna just give it to the homeless guy. He was the only one who seemed to be, I don't know, showing up and doing something. And I know I'm in the minority on this because this film has, I think, a 78% on Rotten Tomatoes, and I think it's maybe got a 56 audience score. I don't remember. I just, every time I ever really greatly dislike a film, I look it up on Rotten Tomatoes, and it's like, it's certified fresh. What is wrong with me? But I'm going to give the acting star to just him. As far as the story, no, I did not like the story. It kind of just wasn't good. I would give the story star to it if it were just told from his point of view, from the homeless man's point of view. That would have been a compelling story. It would have been, okay, what is she? Just some person that doesn't know what the hell to do, and she's just like, oh my god, this guy could ruin my whole life, and all that stuff. Or is she an evil, maniacal bitch that enjoys watching him suffer, and she's got to clean shit off of people and wipe down genitals, and she doesn't want to do that anymore, and she really just wants to get to a point where she can tell all the other nursing assistants what to do and not do that, and she just wanted to hurt this one person because she's always having to clean ass and deal with shit she doesn't want to deal with. And I've worked it before. When a resident slaps you, you're just supposed to walk away or call in help and have that help hold their hands and talk sweet to them while you change their really shitty diaper. So maybe could have played a little bit more on her stress. Maybe don't make her have a boyfriend. Maybe make her friend. I mean, it's already written, it's over 10 years old. This is what the hell am I gonna do? Maybe make her friend the one that comes and tries to help her, but her friend is like, no, I actually want to help people, not hurt them. And I think it would have been more interesting told from the man's perspective, not from these women's perspective or anything like that. And I think that would have been more interesting. Like, oh, hey, you're homeless for a day and then you get hit by a car. Yeah. So, if it were closer to that, it would get its story star, but no. And script. When I say script, I usually mean dialogue. No, not getting it this time. So you made the movie, there's your acting. Normally I review horror movies, and it's that if it's actually scared me, and cheap jump scares don't count. And then I think one time I changed it for Sublime, and I was like, did it emotionally affect me? Much like cheap jump scares don't count in actually scaring me, irritating me to the point where I just go, okay, I've got to make a freaking review about this, is not actually affecting me. So 2 stars. That's what I'd rate the film Stuck. You can go ahead and watch it if you want. I don't care. I'm not your mom. And I'll see you hopefully next week. I'm wanting to get back into doing this and maybe making it a little less me just ranting and you seeing my face and a little more professional. And maybe I'll actually do look at a makeup tutorial or 2 in my day. Anyway, stay basic, bitches.